Alright, continuing to the third section of the Saga of Erik the Red, which looks really quite long. I guess we'll see how this goes. Hopefully we can fit it all in one video. Alright. Thorgir Vifilsson married and took to wife Arnora, daughter of Einar, from Laugbrekka, the slope of the hot spring, the son of Sigmund, the son of Ketilthistle, who had occupied Thistlesfjordur. The second daughter of Einar was called Halvig. Thorbjorn Vifilsson took her to wife, and received with her the land of Laugbrekka at Hellisvollr, the cave hill. To that spot Thorbjorn removed his abode, and became great and worshipful. He was the temple priest, and had a magnificent estate. Thorbjorn's daughter was Gudrid, the fairest of women, and of peerless nobility in all her conduct. There was a man called Orm, who dwelt at the Arnarstapi, Eagle Rock, and he had a wife who was called Haldis. He was a well-to-do franklin, a great friend of Thorbjorn, and Gudrid lived at his house as his foster child for a long time. There was a man named Thorgir who dwelt at Thorgirsfall. He was mighty rich in cattle, and he had been made a freedman. He had a son whose name was Einar, a handsome man, well-mannered, and a great dandy. Einar, at this time, was a traveling merchant, sailing from land to land with great success, and he always passed his winter either in Iceland or in Norway. Now after this, I have to tell how one autumn, when Einar was in Iceland, he was proceeding with his wares to Snowfellness, with the object of selling. He came to Arnarstapi. Orm invited him to stay there, and Einar accepted his invitation, because there was friendship between him and Orm's people, and his wares were earned into a certain outhouse. There he unpacked his merchandise, showed it to Orm and to the houseman, and bade Orm take therefrom such things as he would. Orm accepted the offer, and pronounced Einar to be a goodly gallant traveller, and a great favourite of fortune. When now they were busy with the wares, a woman passed before the door of the outhouse, and Einar inquired of Orm who that fair woman might be passing before the door. "I have not seen her here before," he said. "That is Gudrid, my foster child," said Orm, "daughter of Thorbjorn the franklin, of Laugbrekka." "She must be a good match," said Einar. "Surely she has not been without suitors, who have made proposals to her, has she?" Orm answered, "Proposals have certainly been made, friend, but this treasure is not to be had for the picking up. It is found that she will be particular in her choice, as well as also her father." "Well, in spite of that," quoth Einar, "she is the woman whom I have it in mind to propose for, and I wish that in this suit of mine you approach her father on my part, and apply yourself to plead diligently for me, for which I shall pay you in return a perfect friendship. The franklin Thorbjorn may reflect that our families would be suitably joined in the bonds of affinity, for he is a man in a position of great honor, and who owns a fine abode. But his personal property, I am told, is greatly on the decrease. Neither I nor my father lack lands or personal property, and if this alliance should be brought about, the greatest assistance would accrue to Thorbjorn." Then answered Orm, "Of a surety I consider myself to be thy friend, and yet I am not willing to bring forward this suit. For Thorbjorn is of a proud mind, and withal a very ambitious man." Einar replied that he desired no other thing than that his offer of marriage should be made known. Orm then consented to undertake his suit, and Einar journeyed south again until he came home. A while after, Thorbjorn had a harvest feast, as he was bound to have because of his great rank. There were present Orm from Arnstapi, and many other friends of Thorbjorn. Orm entered into conversation with Thorbjorn, and told him how that Einar had lately been to see him from Thorgirsfjall, and was become a promising man. He now began the wooing on behalf of Einar, and said that an alliance between the families would be very suitable on account of certain interests. "There may arise to thee, Franklin," he said, "great assistance in thy means from this alliance." But Thorbjorn answered, "I did not expect the like proposal from thee, that I should give my daughter in marriage to the son of a thrall. And so thou perceivest that my substance is decreasing. Well then, my daughter shall not go home with thee, since thou considerest her worthy of so poor a match." Then went Orm home again, and each of the other guests to his own household, and Gudrid remained with her father, and stayed at home that winter. Now in the spring, Thorbjorn made a feast to his friends, and a goodly banquet was prepared. There came many guests, and the banquet was the best. Now, at the banquet, Thorbjorn called for a hearing, and thus spake: "Here have I dwelt a long time. I have experienced the goodwill of men, and their affection towards me, and I consider that our dealings with one another have been mutually agreeable. But now do my money matters begin to bring me uneasiness, although to this time my condition has not been reckoned contemptible. I wish, therefore, to break up my household before I lose my honor, to remove from the country before I disgrace my family. So now I propose to look after the promises of Erik the Red, my friend, which he made when we separated at Bredeforder. I propose to depart for Greenland in the summer, if events proceed as I wish." These tidings about this design appeared to the guests to be important, for Thorbjorn had been long beloved of his friends. Wait, where am I? They felt that he would only have made so public a declaration that it might be held of no avail to attempt to dissuade him from his purpose. Thorbjorn distributed gifts among the guests, and then the feast was brought to an end, and they departed to their own homesteads. Thorbjorn sold his lands and bought a ship, which had been laid up to shore at the mouth of the Harnhofer, the harbor of the lava field. 30 men ventured on the expedition with him. There was Orm from Arnstapi and his wife, and those friends of Thorbjorn who did not wish to be separated from him. Then they launched the ship and set sail with a favorable wind. But when they came out into the open sea, the favorable wind ceased, and they experienced great gales, and made but an ill-sped voyage throughout the summer. In addition to that trouble, there came fever upon the expedition, and Orm died, and Haldis his wife, and half the company. Then the sea waxed rougher, and they endured much toil and misery in many ways, and only reached Herofsnes in Greenland at the very beginning of winter. There dwelt at Herofsnes the man who was called Thorkel. He was a useful man and a most worthy franklin. He received Thorbjorn and all his ship's company for the winter, assisting them in right noble fashion. This pleased Thorbjorn well, and his companions in the voyage.